just me or is there spinach in it? There's spaghetti models and empty rum bottles, and sometimes Louis says hi. Hey, Louis! But you don't get no hurries and don't have no worries, cause we're drunk donkey nationwide. Everybody now, Mike's weather page. You know he'll be tracking every move that makes. You know it's Mike's weather page. You know he won't let us all get blown away. Did I ever tell you the story of the drunk donkey? Once upon a time, there was this weather woman. You can come as a pilot, stay kind of quiet, but you know you love watching Mike's face. So put your grown head shirt on, watch it live on your phone, and drink drunk donkey beer all day. You got it. Mike's weather page. You know he'll be tracking every move that makes. You know it's Mike's weather page. You know he won't let us all get blown away. Is that Blobby Bobby? I think that's Juicy Jerry. Yeah, Mike, throw a party, man.
All right, good morning, everybody. Almost ran out of time there. A little slow clicking today. How's everybody doing? Good, I hope. It's Wednesday. No, Thursday. What day is today? Thursday. I'm still not caught up from Beryl. When you don't sleep a whole day, it's kind of like your body's still confused. The day we came back from Beryl, I think every post I had was a day off. It was because my brain thought it was Monday, and I was posting Tuesday. I don't even know. I'm so confused. So anyway, happy Thursday. Hey, tonight is the premiere for our local town, Twisters, and I am so excited. I know I've been seeing a lot of people posting that. I thought I had a picture up somewhere. I guess I didn't get one ready. Maybe right here. There it is. There's Reed Timmer and his Dominator at the IMAX movie theater. Our theater isn't that fancy, but yeah, we got tickets, man. Julie bought these tickets months ago. And tonight's the night. I can't wait, man. I used to have it on VHS. I had a little business back in the day, and we had a TV in there. And I would play that and Days of Thunder and Smokey the Bandit back to back to back. That was my three go-to movies. Twisters, Smokey the Bandit, and Days of Thunder. And I would just play these on repeat. So, yeah, tonight's the night. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. So, here's Hunter today. Everybody say hi to Hunter. Not a lot to talk about in the weather world. We're going to try to talk about something. A little bit to talk about, I guess. Hello, Brew Crewers. Good morning. Maybe we could sneak Hunter in. I don't think it would work too good. Our daily brew. We've slowed down a little bit. We covered Beryl for weeks, every day, every night, every weekend. Whew, that was an exhausting storm. We're in a little bit of a lull right now, the July lull, very normal. But we're still going to talk every day. We're going to be here live tomorrow, coming to you live from Oldsmar, Florida, which is sandwiched between Tampa Bay and Clearwater. Got a lot of great supporters. Of course, ABC Fine Wine and Spirits is one of them. Hoping to do a little meet and greet with them soon here in the great state of Florida with possibly the debut of our new TBBC Mike's Weather Page beer, IPA. Working on that. Already picked out the hops. We did a little hop. Well, they did the hop picking. I just kind of told them what I wanted. So we're hoping for a tropical IPA. So stay tuned for that. But really appreciate all the support from our supporters, ABC, obviously. 5 years now. ABC was sponsoring our show before Hunter was even born. Can you believe that? Incredible. Let me close out some windows here. Here's a tropic activity map. Let me show you that while we say hello to everybody. So we'll be live tomorrow, yep. Heading over to Gainesville for the weekend for softball, but we'll be live in the morning. Good morning, John from the Villages. Should that be on our bucket list for when we retire? It's either that or Margaritaville. They got a pretty cool retirement place over in Daytona and Orlando. Squirrel from the UK. Richard Reamer, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Reamer. Squirrel, what time is it in the UK? It must be nighttime over there. Susan from Niceville, good morning. Renee from Fruitland Park. Emerson, our Oldsmar native. How about that, buddy? Cool, man. Michelle, good morning. Laura from Punta Gorda. Sue, good morning. Hope everybody's doing great. 5 hours later, UK. Shelly already looked it up. So that means it's, what's that mean? Earlier or later? What does that mean? I don't know. Oh, and heck, you're on middle 2:26 p.m.? I thought the clock went the other way. 2:26 a.m.? I don't even know. Peggy from Homosassa, what's up? Jeannie from Hilton Head. Good morning, everybody. Hunter's doing good. Been pretty healthy lately. Starting to scratch a little bit. You might hear me yell at him here. John, you're right. No RC track. Oh, yeah, John, you the sticker guy? I think I forwarded the email to Julie. We'll make sure you get some stickers for your race car. So anyway, let's talk about the weather. 7 days. What do you think about that, Hunter? Hunter's so cute. He's so cute. It's like Rudolph. I'm cute. I'm cute. He's only 9 pounds. He likes to lay. Look at this. Look at. He'd probably stay like this the whole show. Maybe not. All right. I got a fresh pot of coffee. That's trouble. Or fresh cup of coffee. All right. Yeah, that's you, John. All right, what's up, Billy K? Working on the birds, buddy. God, man, corporate America. Oh, jeez. I'm hoping to have it done in a week. Greed, man, greed. Sean, what's up? How's was it Massachusetts up there? Yeah, we got some healthy storms. What's up, Lisa? Got a new couple new brew crews. All right, so we got no tropics in the 7 days. Getting closer to August. What is up with that? Reminds me of 2022. I posted that this morning, but we had 60 days of no tropics in 2022. People thought the season was over, and guess what? Ian came out of nowhere. Colorado State still calling for 22 named storms. Hey! Don't start scratching. 22 more storms. Hey, before I forget, Shelly's going to put the link on here. Got 30 more radios. I got some shipped in. 30 more of our emergency radios. Everybody loved them. So $29 for includes shipping with a sticker. Pretty awesome. Solar power. Charge your phone. Crank radio. You listen to radio. AM, FM, weather radio. All kinds of cool stuff. Got custom stickers on it. MWP storm gear. But I had people asking, when are you going to get them back in? Well, I got some in. So get them before the season gets going because they're the coolest little radio in the world. My dad loves his. He says he listens to the AM radio at night. But solar power is pretty neat, man. So anyway, over the years I talked about them so much and finally got some shipped in and sold out and got 30 more in. So there you go. If you want it. If you don't, that's what buddy Justin says. If you want it, okay. If you don't. All right, there's dust map. Holy moly, man. We got a ton of dust out there. This dust has been on the radar for everybody, and you can almost see it on the satellite right here. Huge plume. All the way from Africa. Look at it. All that right there. All that dust is heading westbound and down. Not eastbound. Westbound and down. And believe it or not, man, we're going to get it here in a couple days. It's going to be a big plume entering the Gulf of Mexico. Caribbean knows all about it all too well. It's really thick right now for them down there in the Lesser Antilles and Puerto Rico and Virgin Islands and Barbados and Trinidad, Tobago, ABC Islands. I know all y'all. Hispaniola. I never dreamed in a million years I would have fans in every one of these little countries. Didn't even know where these little countries were years ago. Hell, I didn't even know where half the states are. I know more about the Caribbean than I do the flyover states. I don't know. I don't know half of the states. That's why Jason Aldean called them the flyover states. We got a few tropical waves out there, but man, listen, nothing. There's so much dust out there. We got a little bit of rotation on this forward one coming into the islands, but man, what happens once they start getting a little bit of spin? They start pulling in this dry air. That's what happened to Invest 96 behind Beryl. But that dry air just gets wrapped around, and guess what? It just kind of peters out. No more westbound and down. So there's a bunch of activity in Africa. Very normal for this time of year. It's just a wait and see kind of thing. If you've been following me over on TikTok, I've been showing a lot of videos every day. We got this thing called a campfire map. This is our, I don't think I shared it this year yet, but that's the tropical activity map. If you notice here for the month of July, there's very little here. That's where we're at. So very normal. You can see things really get going in August, September. So sound like a broken record, but July is typically slow. July is about the same as November. This is November right here. So we will see, but don't think it's not normal. It is normal. It just seems not normal when we have 22 more named storms coming. Right? Right. This is kind of spooky. 15-day ensemble maps. Brian Burden, how's Moorings doing, man? You said you guys were busy. Okay, thanks, Shelly. I'm excited. I got my new laptop working good. What's up, Bobby? That's like 7 storms a month, Susan. I know. 22 to go. If we don't have a storm until August, that means August, September, October, we will have 22 named storms. That's 7 a month. And some November. November's had sneaky storms. I'm not, listen. November, unfortunately, will be in peak La Nina. Water temperatures will still be hot. And so I'm afraid we'll still see some storms later in the season. So we bought these 2 giant inflatable Christmas bulbs for Christmas, and they float in the pool. And they have not lost any air. Here it is, July. And every now and then I see one. They're huge, And I just saw one. I thought somebody was out on the back porch, but it was nothing. Now the dogs think somebody's here, so I got to turn. That's our security camera, so I got to turn it off. But no people out there. But sometimes at night it freaks you out. You're sitting on the couch and you see this big old thing moving by. It's red, and it's like, cool, Brian. I'm glad you got a lot of work, man. I know you guys do a lot of cleanup. So there you go. This is crazy right here, though. This is really weird. 15 days. The next 15 days. These are ensembles. Nothing. The Euro. Nothing. The GFS. Nothing. No concentrated areas of low pressure is what you're looking for. And it doesn't mean something can't pop up. Trust me. Trust me. Long range modeling is not 100%. We see that all the time. But you still look at it. And this goes into August 1st. So I'll see you then. Time to take another Margaritaville cruise. Nah, we're going on the Utopia next in June, man. Our MWP cruise. Right, Brian? Oh, my God. Woo! Man, that's going to be so fun. I see videos of that ship. It is like, I can't wait to see that outside park area. Never been on a ship that had vegetation. So anyway, 15-day map. I don't know. We'll see. Right? This is kind of fascinating to me. It is fascinating to me. This is the 7-day map of temperature change. All right. This is what the water temperatures have done in the last 7 days. Doesn't mean it's cold. Doesn't mean it's hot. It's how it changed in 7 days. Well, I've been tracking Beryl. And about a week ago, this was all white and blue where Beryl went. Now it is red and orange. That means the temperature has come up quick. So it's kind of fascinating to see that. Talking a lot about ocean heat content. MJO, Steve. Yeah, we can look at that. I think dust wins regardless. I think it's dust, then MJO, and then water temp. But maybe it's dust, water temp, then MJO. No, it's dust, shear, water temp, MJO. As far as the importance, this year water temp is higher up. Water temp might override a weaker MJO. So, anyway, Big Bass up in Land O'Lakes. What's up? Mary Kling, good morning. What's up, Tammy Benjamin? Good morning. So this means the water has increased by, 1-2 degrees. This is on tropicaltidbits.com. Pretty fascinating. I'll tell you another thing that's fascinating. Let me go back to the main page here before we talk about the weather today. I got some stuff for Carolinas. Don't go away. But here's an MJO forecast. Interesting. So, long range looking. I'm glad you brought up the MJO. Who was that? I forget about all this stuff. Steve Peel. I haven't looked at this in a while. This is a vorticity map basically showing you upper level winds, part of the MJO, but pretty green. Green usually means good for hurricanes, meaning the hurricane conditions improve for development. Now, we were kind of in an orange during Beryl. It was very odd. But anyway, typically when this is green, it usually means conditions are favorable for development. And notice it's August 1st. Basically through the month of August. So we're kind of in this whole suppressed stage. Dust is ruling right now. Beryl, if you remember, we were talking about Beryl. Sound like a redneck storm chaser. I'm wearing my redneck storm chaser, by the way, today. You can be a redneck storm chaser. Storm chasing is going to be cool again because of twisters. All y'all that don't like me storm chasing, I'm sorry. I apologize. I feel the passion. I will say, over the years, we've evolved better. Shelly will tell you more than anybody. When I decided to start storm chasing in 2020, 4 years ago, I would stop with my normal updates. Now it's seamless. If you didn't know I was storm chasing, I would think that you would still have as many posts leading up to the storm and during the storm. So I always make sure I pull over, keep up to date, still post as I did before. I used to not, so I have evolved at least in that. So I did fail the 24 hours before a storm and not keep updated. But in my opinion, usually about 24 hours or less, you kind of know where the storm's going. You should have already been evacuated by then. Less than 24 hours. But anyway, there's your MJO. Interesting. I didn't know it was going to be that enhanced. Long range looking too. We got some tropics maps I showed yesterday. These aren't really the best, but anyway, it is showing an area of development here the first week of August. Basically, I think this is more historically looking at things like the MJO, looking at the dust. Usually starts to fizzle out about first part of August. Historically, dust subsides early August. We know the water temps are hot, so you put all three of these together, chances are you're going to get some sort of formation. There's nothing showing on the models up until August 1st. This is past August 1st. The conditions should start to improve for tropic development because of the water MJO we just saw in August and historically low levels of dust because the rains in Africa start winning and we don't get those stronger winds. The winds are a big issue with what picks this dust up and drives them westbound. Once these winds start weakening, the trade winds, the dust doesn't get picked up, the dust doesn't come across, and that's why shear reduces. Storms have a better ability to get going. So that's kind of where we're at historically. Showed this yesterday, but in case you didn't watch, it's a vertical wind shear map. I think it's really important to look at. This is kind of showing you where the normal Caribbean wind shear typically lowers down August, September, October. That's why we have peak season down here, least amount of wind shear. But where we're riding right now, you can tell we are riding below that, meaning less wind shear than normal. So once this dust subsides, this is what a lot of forecasters are a little concerned about why we might see a really spark in the tropics, because the vertical wind shear here is a little less. Ocean heat content is fascinating. Brian McNulty's site here. We track it every day. This is really interesting to me. This is where we're at across the Caribbean currently. And this little region here, which is highlighted, measures the underwater ocean heat content. This is mainly the fuel for storms. 23, this is the line here, but look at where we're at now, and it's been above. So blue is the 10-year average, 13 to 23, 10-year average in the blue. Our temperatures July 17th today and yesterday here, that's a bad attempt of an arrow, is about where it normally is here, which is usually first, second week of September. So the water temperatures think it's September. And we see this little dive here. That was Beryl. Beryl cooled the waters down a little bit underneath the surface, but they've bounced back up to where they were before Beryl. So this water keeps climbing. You know, it doesn't even matter that Beryl cooled the water down. It was still hotter than normal. This is important to note. Beryl cooled the waters, yes, but it still kept the waters above 2013 or 2023 and kept the waters above, way above the 10-year average. So that little cool down Beryl didn't really affect anything as far as water temperatures. What's cool on this tropical tidbits map too, by the way, the 7-day change, you can see this, the whole tropical Atlantic here. Let's go North Atlantic here, bring it up. So what's kind of wild here, this shows you the 7-day change. This blue indicates a cooling of the Atlantic the last 7 days, and a lot of this is that African dust. We've had a couple big plumes of dust, and that kind of acts as a solar shield temporarily, but that's why the waters, if you see the blue, they're like, what's blue mean? Well, it means it's cooled in the last 7 days. But when you look at things like the overall anomalies, North Atlantic here, this indicates the water temperatures are still way above normal. And notice the Gulf is coming back quick. This indicates kind of a strong high pressure, by the way. And that's kind of the big worry this year, is more of a west tick because of this stronger high pressure. The high pressure cools a little bit below, but where you're really worried about is obviously there. I mean, that's when things get going quick, and that water temperature is still above normal quite a bit. And that goes back to the map that I showed from Brian McNulty here, and he's got another one with the Gulf. Let's see what the Gulf looks like. Gulf had a temporary little cool down almost to normal, and it's bounced back pretty quick here. The Gulf doesn't swing that much. So the Gulf has the Gulf Stream, and it's always hot. So the Gulf Stream pumps in a lot of warm water from the Caribbean. But where we're at now is pretty much the highest it has been so far this season. So, you know, these little temporary cool downs we saw, a lot of that was because of Chris, not really Chris, but we had a couple invests, and we had Alberto, and we had Beryl. So the Gulf had a little bit of cool down, but we can see it's bounced back, which it'll continue to bounce back. We get this warm Gulf Stream pumping in here. There's a model, wasn't even working. I have to find that one. But this is your Gulf Stream, and this pumps in a lot of hot water. And there's that loop current, which nobody really talked about with Beryl, but it definitely helped it. Once Beryl exited these shallow shelves off the Yucatan on its way up to Texas, it fed into these loop eddies. These are pure, deep rivers of warm water that circulate in the Gulf, and they really help tropical development. You know, and it was so fascinating to watch Beryl twice in its lifespan. Beryl twice fed into some upper frontal action and pulled that moisture in and around and helped shield itself from dust. We had that incoming front that ultimately pulled Beryl to the north and northeast, actually fueled it last second. Same thing it did in the open Atlantic. We had that that PV streamer, which I'm going to learn more about but it was basically a frontal line that fed Beryl in front of the storm, which helps, and all these, over the years, you learn all these storms feed off of an upcoming front. You get a front coming down, and let's see if I can pull something up here. But all the big storms, at least here in the Gulf, fed into. I can't find any map that I want to claim. I'm terrible. Let's do this one. All right, there's a big one there. So every storm seems like we have some sort of a frontal line that comes down, big high pressure that helps build it, and then as the storm approaches, it starts, helping flow here, an outflow they call it. But these fronts end up supplying a lot of juice around these systems, and Beryl had it twice. And it's always eerily hot before a Florida hurricane. I felt it during Ian. I felt it during Idalia. I don't remember Irma as much. I really wasn't in the weather as much as I am now. Every day I'm in the weather even more. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. Little tropical signals here and there. Moisture maps really pumping in here. Precipitable water map on the Bay News 9 here really showing a lot of moisture. We're starting to get some signals here coming across. So it's just a waiting game right now. Let's show the latest dust map. That was pretty fascinating. This thing's huge. It's going to be making its way into the Gulf of Mexico, Texas here in the next couple days. Let's see. 0Z didn't run, but here's that plume. This is pretty much today. There's that big old plume of dust through the Caribbean. It's going to be impacting the Bahamas tomorrow and Saturday, and then into Florida over the weekend. And then it should make it into Texas first part of next weekend, or next week. Here's the 21st, 22nd right there. And then there's another one coming in behind. A lot of dust possibly into Texas and the Gulf of Mexico. This would be the 22nd, 23rd of next week. Isn't that crazy? That's some heavy plumes of dust right there. Look at that. Very, very thick. Usually you don't see these colors that deep into the Atlantic. So anything that tries to develop, like I said, it starts pulling down and feeding that dust into circulation. Beryl had that moisture off to the northeast that I'd actually fed off of, and I'm going to change this map. I meant to earlier today. I need to change the water vapor map to show not just the U.S. I got to fix that. I'm going to have this do the whole Caribbean and Atlantic. This one right here, I'm going to update it after the show. But Beryl basically had this. It fed into a line of juice here. And currently, you can see there's nothing out there. So we had Beryl, somewhere around here, but we also had a moisture stream that fed into Beryl and helped it shear off any dust. And that actually rode along with Beryl while it intensified. But now we have nothing like that. We have no moisture. So these little guys start getting a little bit of spin, but then they ingest all this dry air and they poof out. And you can see a little bit of spin, actually. That first wave, we look where the first wave is around 55 degrees. This one right here, well, God, it's even gone there now. You can barely see it. But there's a little bit right here. Yesterday we talked about it. That little juice is going to try to make its way up around Florida. Let's look at that here in a second. But, if we look at 55, about right here, that's 54. Got close enough. You can kind of see a little bit of spin trying to develop, a little bump, but a lot of wind shear, no moisture, still nothing in the Pacific. It's crazy. Can't believe that. Let's look at the moisture map though for this week. So a couple graphics here. North Carolina, that's fresh. That one just got updated. This is today. A little bit into Virginia and down into South Carolina. Could have some stronger storms developing later to watch. Definitely got some heat out there. This is a lingering front. So there you go. That's significant, yellow, level 2 out of 5. So pay attention. Virginia and Carolina today. Flooding maps for today and tomorrow shows this lingering, basically, front like that. There's your, flooding potential. A little bit out west, too, for 2 days. So that's just a lingering front. Rainfall, you can see the next 3-day rainfall. There's your lingering front. A little southern part of Virginia, mainly eastern Carolina and South Carolina there. Some of that might reach its way down into the upper Gulf there, but there you go. That's the lingering front. GFS here. Let's take a look at the moisture map, 24-hour moisture map. You can see our little wave here. Yesterday was trying to wrap itself around. Yeah, you can follow it. See it right here? So if you keep your eyeballs about right here, that was that wave yesterday we showed. And you can see it get wrapped up around that front. Just kind of bring in some extra juice. Maybe into Florida. This is more later weekend. Here's Sunday. Maybe Sunday, but mainly Monday, Tuesday. It might up the rain chances in Florida. Let's see what the Euro shows. This is Monday, Tuesday, and that little wave that's coming across. You can see it currently. Let's go look at the GF or Euro. Here's that little wave tomorrow, and a little increased moisture along the way. This is Bahamas on Sunday. It kind of merges that front. Another front coming into play, maybe, but so maybe increased rain chances Sunday, but mainly Monday as that little guy comes down. And we could probably see it on the wave map too, maybe. Yeah, a little bit, not much, but waves are calm. If you're boaters, look at the Gulf; it's beautiful. This is very little wave action in the next. So you got anybody cruising? Very little wave action all the way through Sunday. That's great. Oh, that's actually a week out. No, wait, 2 out. Oh, that goes out almost. That goes 10 days. Here's this weekend. But really nothing through all of next week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So nothing. Normal stuff down here, but nothing. I mean, even that's less than 10. Yellow's 10 foot, so there's not even 10 foot popping. So beautiful sailing weather or cruising weather if you're doing that. So Kimberly, Bahamas look good in 6 days. Nothing out of the norm. You're going to get pop-up storms here and there, right? Jake, your team's falling asleep. What's up, Jake? Oh, my man. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you again this year, man. I might need some VIP access to these storms. Jake was there with me in Sargent, Texas. That surge that came in on the backside was just phenomenal. Like, I just couldn't believe it. I mean, no, I'm looking over the Brew crew. Oh, Amy, everybody's sick a little bit. Hope Brandy's camping. Cool, man. We're going softballing. We're going to be up in Newberry one more time. Oh, God. We're going to eat the farmhouse. That's pretty good. Anybody been to the farmhouse up there? Pretty cool. Good country food, man. I love my grits. Hey, I was so happy Margaritaville had grits, by the way. I love the Margaritaville, man. It's my second favorite ship, other than Royal now. Let me show you this surge we had. It was incredible. I got a lot of... So I took some more drone footage, by the way. Let me see if I can pull that up. Let's go to my profile, and I zoomed out. So what I did was a taller surge video yesterday. Let's see if I can make it full screen. It kind of fits the screen. Let me go backwards a little bit. Can I make it bigger? No. But let's rewind it, and I'll stop it. So, all right. Obviously, Beryl was a Cat 1. I get it. People got mad at me because I said it was one of the strongest storms I've been in. Obviously I've been in 4 major hurricanes now. I've been in I've been in Delta, Zeta, Ian, Ida. So 5 major hurricanes. And this was ranked right up there for me. Some of the biggest winds and surge I've seen, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, it had damage. I mean, there's roofs. So let's go a little bit here. There's roof damage here. We obviously got a triple axle trailer down. Powerful. I made this video because it's there's a little more damage. I wish I would have done a little bit more, but there's some pretty significant roof damage there on a little house. Obviously, all this surge was coming back down. This was all surge, but this was about 3 p.m. the next day, and just gives you an idea. Here we go. There's a camper on the side. There's like 2 campers here on the side. There's another camper on its side. Obviously, there's a truck in the water. There's something that's gone. And again, this is only a small sampling. There's another house with some pretty significant roof damage there. More carport stuff down. I mean, it's definitely consistent, I guess, with a strong Cat 1 with stronger gust. But it was intensifying at landfall. There's another major roof damage there. Obviously, a couple buildings tore up pretty good. This definitely wasn't a tornado because it was a lot. It was several miles of this, But the campers is what really got me. The one, we have an RV, so I learned a lot. Like, there's some more roof damage. There's a camper on its side. There's one right here you can barely see. I think I got it right in the picture at the last second. Right there. This one was completely destroyed. Like, totally destroyed. Million pieces. That one's the whole sides ripped off. So if you didn't evacuate, I mean, for a Cat 1, I think that's the bottom line. How many people probably said, it's a Cat 1. We wrote it out before. Well, if you're, this side, these campers were all underwater. Like I said, the surge went down. It was another 2 to 3 feet taller than what this was. This is when we were able to leave the island. The island, we were stuck there for 7 hours at least, and we weren't allowed to leave because the road was completely underwater. So this was, 3 p.m. the next day. It's just not fun, man. There's a camper on its side. I mean, like I said, it's just a small sampling. Back off to the west, they had a lot more, but we were on the way out of town, and this is kind of where I was at to film. So, yeah, it was pretty intense. Let me show you what I wanted to show you here on where that particular area was. Because it was quite a bit inland from what you might think, because a lot of this was the backside surge, not necessarily let's see here, where's Bay City? Oh man, let me get my bearings straight here. Where the hell were we? We were somewhere right here. Does it come up? That's where we first wrote it out, Surfside. Then we went over here to, should be right here, Sergeant somewhere, should be right here somewhere. I don't know why it's not shown on this map. Trying to find it. Where are you? There it is. All right. So here's a really close zoom of where we were at. There's that crazy bridge that we got stranded on. So we were on this side of the bridge, the beach side. We were on the bridge because all this was underwater right here. All this was underwater. Everything was underwater. But what was amazing was all this here was underwater. From here to about there. And all that water came from this way. So, man, I wasn't even thinking about it, but like we didn't check over here. But I guarantee all these areas here were underwater. because all this came from this direction. And that was when the storm passed us. The initial surge was obviously here, but then the backside surge was even more incredible. And that was when the storm pulled off to the north, and the winds were now coming in like this, that direction. And that was when the storm was, here. So again, hours after landfall is when these really whipped in and maybe even increased the surge more from the backside, which was incredible, to say the least. So yeah, Roger, that was a good graphic. Shared Beryl, Ian, and Irma maps that how the tracks changed, And if you go back to, I don't know if I can go here, media, let's see here. So if you go back to, well, here's that map here. Here's one picture, for example. This was on the way on the other side of the shear, or the surge. And we were trying to get out. This was miles from the beach now. We already passed the scary stuff. But looking back at some of the maps here showing, I want to find the one surge video that I had. This is the incredible one. This one made all the news. So I was on the bridge here looking down. This is kind of looking north. There's our road. That's the road that we had to leave on. And look at all the power lines are down. So there was no way we could escape where we were at on that bridge. It was just blowing in from the west. Incredible power of surge coming in. But some of the modeling maps here, let me show you kind of the talking points for the whole storm from day one were two things. Ensemble map. So these ensembles showed exactly what happened. A deepening system is going to turn northeast eventually, and this was way back. This was July 3rd. Back in July 3rd, the talking points were obviously a stronger storm, more north, more turn, more feeling that weakness. And like I say, always pay attention to outliers when you can see a trend developing. We did not see a trend developing of a weaker storm and no frontal influence. We saw a front coming down. Every model run, that front was a little stronger, a little stronger, a little stronger, a little stronger, pulling a little more to the north. So, it kind of happened. It was kind of, you don't want to say, it was obvious, but it kind of was obvious. Let me show you my Beryl map from yesterday. I did some cone maps here. This was Beryl. So, 3 days out, Beryl's center line, which you rarely use, but a lot of news agencies still use center line. In the 3-day cone, the actual track is in the dotted line here. And you can see, Beryl rode that outer edge and turned north way more than some expected, which brought the effects well east into Louisiana, Arkansas more. And that's why we had so many tornado warnings for those areas that probably had no idea that was coming, because the east side is the worst side. And the east side fuels off of the Gulf of Mexico, and it still pumps in energy as our system is way up here somewhere. So that was fascinating to me. I also posted, well, I had to delete one. I guess I made a typo, but here's Ian. Here's the Ian track. Also rode on that east side of the 3-day track. Ian had a cold front coming down. Ian had a front. That was the year of the fronts. Ian reacted to that front, curved north, northeast. Beryl had a cold front coming down, curved north, northeast. You know what's coming down next week? A cold front. We have a cold front coming down next week. We're going to see 50s next week, middle part of the country. But look at this 6 to 10 day outlook. This is your temperature anomaly map for next week. Cold front dipping south. Two things. One, if we maintain a strong 1025, thank you, Walter, if you're watching. Walter is my ex-NWS contact from Louisiana that shares a lot of wisdom to me, and I actually asked him a couple things this morning. But anyway, is that Bermuda high remains strong. We have cold fronts coming down. These will lift, pull, and turn anything down here that tries to get going. The year of Ian, that's what happened. We talked about these fronts all season long. We had a system develop. It pulled it up. It turned it. So this is next week. And the temperature map's incredible. Check this out. You can look here. I found this the other day. It's pretty cool, actually. Temperature anomaly for next week. So white's where it normally is. Blue is way normal. Way cooler than normal. So look, we got 40s and 50s dipping way south this morning. Crazy, right? Crazy. Then we had a cold front. Now we fast forward, tomorrow. Look at this. 40s and 50s. Dusty, are you watching? 40s and 50s. James, that would be so cool, man. You never know. Crazy. We got temperatures tomorrow. All right, then we go out. Look at that. This is high temperatures, but still. I mean, even your high temperatures, only in the 80s. I mean, this is a cold front in July. That's tomorrow temperatures, man. It's not going to get out of 80s. Low 80s in Alabama and Mississippi. Y'all are used to hundreds this time of year. What's up with that? Is that even possible? Upper 80s? Lower 80s all the way to the Gulf Coast tomorrow? There's your cool down. We got another front coming down next week, though. This is the anomaly, man. This is another front coming down, and it's just going to linger, man. Look at this. Look at that. I mean, 60s deep into Texas on Monday morning. 50s. So that's kind of weird, man. Sorry, Florida, you don't get to play. But even day 8's showing 80s for a high in Texas. Crazy, but it's a pattern we got to worry about in the tropics because these cold fronts create weaknesses and that strong Bermuda high. I'll tell you another thing we got to watch out for is what we saw with Nicole. We have a big pressure gradient here. We get a lot of winds off the east, and that year of Nicole, we had a lot of winds pounding the east coast. We saw that with Nicole, ahead of Nicole. Strong winds rolling into the east coast. So anytime you get these tight pressure gradients, then you got to watch out for strong winds, which, let's see if they're even showing here. Let's go to windy.com. Let's go to wind gust. All right, so let's go out. This is next Friday. So here, here's something we've talked a lot about this season. Storms that normally recurve. We got a pretty strong 1027 high next week. This is a week from Friday. So it's still pretty strong blocking high pressure. Even with next week's front line that is lingering and we got a lot of cool weather here. That's supposed to say cool cooler. How about that? Boy, that's terrible. It's like modern day cursive. The flow pattern still, this is where the East Coast, I think we talked about it early season, storms that normally recurve, if that high pressure remains locked in place and we get cold fronts, these are the steering mechanisms of storms that affect the East Coast, which hasn't been affected in a long time. Tight pressure gradient, however, strong high will block pretty much anything recurving. And it's a pattern we got to watch for as the season goes on. Because strong high pressure systems, 1029, this is next Wednesday. Pretty strong. Pretty much guarantees anything that would try to develop probably won't have a chance to recurve because it's going to stall those fronts out. And when I say stall the fronts out, you can see that with your temperature outlooks. So even though we have a 10-day outlook here, cool, but look at Florida above average. That's because that strong high pressure is blocking. This front line just stops. So this high is stronger than that low, and it wins the battle. And guess who gets punished? Florida, way above normal. 8 to 14 days, same thing. So high pressure remains strong. That's why we have an alert map for the next several days. 2021, hazardous heat. Heavy rain with our lingering front. Look at this big old line of lingering rains from that frontal line. And then hot down here. Boy, that, if I didn't copy and paste all that, I would sound like I know what I'm talking about. But anyway. Rosie Crump. We have a bartender at Chili's. Her name is Rosie. Christmas in July. Brian, I know I showed this yesterday. Julie's probably looking for it, but we bought this on the Islander of the Seas in Margaritaville. It's Santa Claus on a pair of dolphins. Christmas in July. Power outages. Let's take a look at our Furman power outage map. And Texas still with 40,000 without power. That's better, but still bad for those folks. Illinois, Indiana still dealing with that derecho the other night, 36 or 20,000 and 10,000. Pennsylvania, that same system brought a lot of power outages to the Northeast there, Pennsylvania, New York. That's where we're at on that. So crazy. All right, well, hey, listen, we're in a little lull, Don't forget to stock up on your generators. 30% off Furman. I think half of the MW crew now owns Furman's, an amazing company. 30% off. Click on that link. Get 30 off free shipping. And Direct Remodels, our good friends here locally that work the middle part of the state. If you want hurricane windows, John and Dan are good friends of mine and have a really great track history here in our area. So a couple good companies, 40% off they're offering our fans too, which is amazing. Highest discounts. So give them a look if you're looking at hurricane models. Hopefully we don't need them, but hey, the season's still a long way away. Colorado State, 22 storms they're still expecting. There'll be a lot of storms to come, we'll see. So all right, we'll be live tomorrow. I'm going to post a little bit about this cold front. That's nuts, man. Look at these temperatures. I just can't believe it. I didn't realize it's going to be so cold. Cold, I call it cold. I'm allowed to say it's cold. But look at these low temperatures for the next 7 days here. Let's take a look. It's crazy. I just really didn't know it was going to be that cool. This only goes out Wednesday, but 50s and 60s, man, all the way down into Texas through next week. So enjoy it. This map's kind of hard to read. Let's see if I do the Euro. This doesn't have any numbers on it. I like that other map. A little better. All right. So we'll be here tomorrow. Don't forget we're streaming live on YouTube, X, Brew Crew, MWPchat.com, and Facebook. So no strong storms, Crystal. No, nothing's really. It's kind of petered out because of the jet stream really isn't dipping too far south. So not really expecting anything too strong in the next few days. That kind of stormy season's done without any jet stream influence. Today, let's look at Carolinas today. Get an idea of what's going on there. Let's see here. Carolina. Let's look at the HRR. We'll zoom into North Carolina here. Oh, because they got some storms expected later today. Let's take a look at 12Z. Here you go. That's pretty powerful looking. This is later this evening. Whoa, man, look at that. This would be roughly 21. What's that? I'm terrible with time. 6, 7, 8. Well, this evening. About 6 p.m. Maybe. Well, there's about 4 p.m. tonight. So they start brewing. Look at that. That frontal line builds in, and could be some pretty hefty looking storms later tonight into the overnight hours. This could be around midnight. Holy cow. Look at that. That is something I need to post. They're not really showing much tornado action, but you still got to wonder. The purples and blues could be evening darkness tornado, possibly. Lightning should be pretty intense. There's your lightning map coming into play tonight. Supercell. There's going to be a little window there for Carolina, man. Pay attention this evening. I don't think the Storm Prediction Center is showing anything tornado-wise. Maybe 2%. No, not showing any. So never say never, but we don't have any color tornado. Mainly wind, big wind. Obviously, the same area we were showing with the supercell composite. NATO cast is pretty good. The last 10 hour, well, they're showing a little chance here. This is the NATO cast is pretty good. Nat, 2%. Nothing's showing up too heavy, but that's the same general area the HRR showing. So keep an eye out. Little sneaky storms late this evening into overnight and towards midnight tonight. Interesting. Definitely going to post on that. Never fun to have overnight storms. So, Ian, what'd you miss? A lot of dust coming your way, buddy. So what else we got? Anything good I missed? Probably not. Covered it all. Susan, you enjoy your day. Loretta Reed, enjoy your day. Thank you. Mary Carroll, how's it going? Joanne, you just popped on. Well, you know. Shear got your firm in last year. Awesome. David Shin, what's up? You are going to get a cold front, Brent, next week, it looks like. It's going to be cool down. Definitely midweek. So that's good. All right. We'll get an hour. That's pretty cool. We try to shoot for an hour. Just ramble on for an hour. That's what we do. Don't forget you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, X, Facebook. I'll try to do a little video update now and talk about the weather. Nothing really going on. I think we'll talk about this cold front coming down. Quite interesting. And, yeah, all right. We'll see you tomorrow, Friday, all right? Have a great day. Thanks for watching. See you later, alligators.